Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a full face of e.l.f. makeup look. So this is the look that I came up with using only e.l.f. makeup products, and it's kind of like a soft glam sort of a look. So yeah, if you want to know how I got this look using only e.l.f. cosmetics, then please do continue watching. So here my skin is already prepped even before beginning with the makeup with a good moisturizer and SPF and all of that. So I'm just gonna straight away move on to the eyebrows, for which I'm taking their Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade Deep Brown. So I'm just gonna fill in any gaps and define my eyebrows very nicely. It's got a pencil on one end and a spoolie on the other end, which is perfect, and the color is also a really good match for my complexion. So I'm just combing through my eyebrows to evenly spread out the product. Now this is a new product from e.l.f. that I wanted to try out. This is their brow gel. This is their clear brow gel. So I'm just taking a little bit of the product and just applying that on top of my eyebrows using my spoolie gently and slowly, and combing the hair upwards, and then using my spatula to sort of stick the eyeshadow up onto the skin and just to make them look feathery and very bushy. Then I'm going to take the e.l.f. Camo concealer in the shade Deep Olive and apply that as a base for my eyeshadow, and also carve out the eyebrows in the same step. It's a high coverage concealer, so I'm just blending it out immediately after I apply it, and it also sets to a matte finish. For eyeshadow, I'm taking this new e.l.f. Rose Gold Nude eyeshadow palette. It's a very cool toned kind of a palette, so I'm first taking that taupey kind of a shade. It's very much on the cool tone side, so I just applied it on the crease as a transition and sort of built it up to the intensity that I wanted. And as you build it up, the eyeshadow becomes more intense, but I also wanted a little bit of warmth, so I took the e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadow palette in the shade Pumpkin Pie. So took that warm brown shade and applied that on the crease as well as the outer corners of my eyes, just to add a hint of warmth. And then I took this stick eyeshadow from e.l.f. This is their No Budge shadow stick in the shade Copper Chic. This is also a cool toned copper shade, so I just applied that all over the eyelids except the outer corners, and just blended out the edges using my ring finger so that it doesn't look harsh. Then I took this beautiful cool toned rose gold eyeshadow, shimmer eyeshadow from the previous palette, and just applied it right on top of the Copper Chic shadow stick, and oh my god, it was such a beautiful and intense foiled metallic shimmer. I absolutely loved this one on the eyelids. Then I also decided to add a bit of glitter, for which I had two options. So I took the shade Flirty Birdy, which is a very similar shade to that of the shimmer eyeshadow that I have on my eyelid. It's a cool toned rose gold, so I just applied it on the entire eyelid like so, and also created a little bit of cut crease effect on the eyelids. It's a very intense liquid glitter shadow. You could honestly skip the previous shimmer eyeshadow, the powder one, and just apply this one on its own. Here I'm just blending out the edges to make sure that everything looks seamless and blended. So I'm going to use two primers just for the sake of the video today. So first I took the matte Putty primer. This is a very newbie to me, so I just applied that on the entire face and blended it out. It's a very soft silicone kind of a primer and has a matte texture and finish to it, so it's going to be amazing for oily skin types. Then I took the e.l.f. Power Grip primer. This is also a primer that I've been absolutely loving recently. That's because it's a tacky and sticky kind of a primer, so I'm just focusing that mainly on the centers of my face, and also adds a lot of hydration and dewiness to the skin. So if you want to make your makeup look dewy as well as just make it super long lasting on the skin, even if you have oily skin, then this is an amazing primer. Then I'm gonna do my foundation, for which I'm taking the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Finish foundation in the shade Caramel, which is a neutral undertone foundation, but it just works so perfectly on my skin tone. It's not very yellow, so yeah, it was just a very good match. So I started applying the foundation on one side of my face using the e.l.f. beauty blender. This one I also absolutely love. It's absolutely one of my favorite blenders to use. And the foundation is also a very beautiful satiny finish, just like the name suggests. And now I'm just applying the foundation using my e.l.f. buffing brush on the other side. So the buffing brush definitely gives a better coverage, but the finish is very beautiful with the makeup sponge. So I absolutely prefer the makeup sponge over the brush for this particular foundation. Now, since the foundation is a little bit on the neutral side, I wanted to add a bit of warmth, so I just concealed all of these areas using the Flawless Brightening Concealer in the shade Deep, which is a very yellow toned concealer, so that it brings a little bit of warmth and also conceals my hyperpigmentation. Then I took a combination of these two concealers. They are in different shades. One is a lighter shade, one is a darker shade. So the shade Deep Olive, I'm just using that to highlight, and I'm taking the shade Rich Cocoa to contour, and it's such a perfect contouring color for my skin tone, and I use these tools from e.l.f. to blend them out. Really good in quality. So I'm using a small stipple brush here to blend out the cream contour that I applied, and as you can see, it's blending like a dream on the skin and a perfect contour color. And since they are extremely pigmented and super potent, you just need the tiniest amount to highlight and contour your face. Now I'm going to set everything in place using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the setting powder on my powder puff and just bake wherever I generally bake, like the under eyes and around the mouth area, and set the rest of the face using the leftover powder on the sponge. Now this powder is a bit of a glowy kind of a powder, so it's gonna suit even drier skin types. I'm also defining the lower lash line using the taupe shade that I applied on my eyelids, the first one. And yeah, that's about it. And just gonna brush off all of the excessive powder. Don't leave this powder for too long, otherwise it can look patchy. So I'm just dusting everything off. For liner, I'm taking the e.l.f. liquid liner. This is in a black shade, and it is extremely pigmented, super jet black, and the bristle is also amazing to create your winged liner. So I'm going for a really nice elongated winged liner for this look here, and it dries down to a satiny matte finish on the eyes. Now I'm going to do a bit of a graphic-y eyeliner thing on my eyes. So I'm taking the shade 24K Gold. This is the glitter eyeshadow on a liner brush, and create a double liner wing just at the wing, and also defining the cut crease and defining the tear duct to give that graphic look. Now to finish off the eye makeup, I'm using the e.l.f. Plump It Up Mascara to my top and bottom eyelashes. I absolutely love this mascara. Adds lots and lots of volume to your eyelashes, and also I added some falsies for some drama. These are not from e.l.f. Yeah, and that's how the eye makeup turned out. And then to highlight my skin, I'm taking the powder highlighter from e.l.f. in the shade 24K Gold, which is a very pale gold highlighter, and oh my god, it's so blingy on the skin. Just a tiny bit does the job. So I'm just highlighting my face like so, and also the brow bone. For blush, I'm using the blush duo. This is the shade Spiced Apple. So I'm just taking the blush alone and just putting that right on the apple of the cheek and taking it up until the temple. It's a very soft, natural peachy shade on my skin tone. Moving on to the lips, I'm taking the e.l.f. Triangular Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Deep Brown. Actually, it's not a very deep brown shade. It's a very light toffee brown kind of a color, and it was not showing up that well on my lips. So yeah, that was that. And for lipstick, I'm gonna mix these two liquid lipsticks from e.l.f. This is the matte liquid lipstick. So first I took the shade called Wine Tour, which is a plummy toned liquid lipstick, and just applied that on my entire lips. And then I took the shade Praline, which is a nudie brown color. So I just used on the center of the lip to slightly tone it down. And now comes one of my absolute favorite lip products from e.l.f. This is their lip lacquer in the shade Fantasy, which is like a shimmery lip gloss. So it has very tiny little shimmer particles in it, and when you apply it, it just makes your lips look super glowy and a lot more sheeny. It's not like a glassy finish, but it's more of a sheen on the lips with a little bit of a glowy property, and the shimmer is not very evident on the lips, which I absolutely love, and they're extremely hydrating and comfortable on the lips as well. Then to set everything in place, I'm taking the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. This also has been doing wonders on my oily skin and just holding my makeup in place and just making everything super long lasting and perfect for summers. So yeah, this is also a very favorite product of mine. So I'm just gonna let the setting spray settle onto the skin well, and here is the finished full face of e.l.f. Cosmetics. I absolutely love the base makeup here more than the eyes and the lips. So yeah, really like the look. All the products that I used to create this look will be listed in the description box as usual. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, found it useful and helpful. Please make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get notified each time I upload a new video on my channel. Also follow me on my Instagram. I'll put the link in the description box. This is it. Take care of yourselves and I shall see you guys soon in my next one.